The warnings had been issued well in advance, alerting federal, states and local authorities to brace up for heavy rainfall and related flood disasters in 2022. But, as it is typical in Nigeria, the response has at best been slow and was still non-existent. Just 8 months into the year, the reality is stark and quite dreadful. 372 deaths and counting, 277 injured, and over 37,633 homes affected across 33 states.
Early warning provided as early as possible, but which requires early action. And it is the delay in some of these mitigative and adaptive actions that cause a lot of some of these damages we have been seeing.
The situation requires urgent attention of all stakeholders to match this early warning with early action.
The situation has already been compared to the flood disaster of 2012, in which over 2.1 million were reportedly displaced and 363 killed with attendant material losses. Exactly 10 years down the line, the prospects does not look good, with more floods expected and valuable lessons appear to have been lost. On Friday, September 23, the Nigerian Hydrological Services Agency again warned of heavy buildup of water in the River Niger and Benue. To complicate matters, the Cameroonian authorities announced the release of water from the Lagdo Dam. According to the Hydrological Agency, Nigeria's inland water basins and reservoirs in Kainji, Shiroro and Jaba will witness overflows.
That portends so much danger for us in Nigeria, and several other communities have been overtaken by flood owing to what is coming out from Cameroon. Now for River Niger side, on the 14th, both the Kainji, Jaba and the Shiroro, they opened their gates. That means so much flood coming down. All of this will converge in Lokoja in a few days' time, and then begin to move down to the Niger Delta. So we are still in the midst of flooding for the year 2022. Much is still coming. People have to be prepared to escape from the flooding.
The states to be affected are Bayelsa, Rivers, Cross River, Anambra and Delta states. Others are Edo, Kogi, Nasarawa, Benue, Taraba, Adamawa, Niger and Kebbi states. Already, heavy flooding have been witnessed in Cross River and Jigawa State. Kogi, which is at the epicenter, gets battered by flood each year, and the situation in 2022 may not be different. Nigeria cannot be said to be unprepared for the Lagdo Dam problem. In 2016, President Muhammadu Buhari and his Cameroonian counterpart signed a Memorandum of Understanding which mandates the Cameroonian government to give prior information to Nigeria whenever it needs to release water from the Lagdo Dam, located 50 kilometers south of the city of Garua along the course of the Benue River. Nigeria's defense has been that sometimes the water release comes without prior notice to Nigeria.
There is a subsisting Memorandum of Understanding between Nigeria and Cameroon with regards to two important structures in Cameroon which could affect Nigeria negatively. One is the Lake Nyos. So of course they recall in 1986, August 1986, that lake exploded and threw up some poisonous gases to the atmosphere, and then eventually entered into Nigeria through Katsina River. And so many items, animals were destroyed, were lost. That's one infrastructure that is in Cameroon. The second one is Lagdo Dam, which Cameroon built between 1977 and 1982. So the MOU signed by the two presidents, President Paul Biya, when he came to Nigeria in 2016, he signed with his counterpart in Nigeria, our president, Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, is that whenever you are to release water from your dam, notify Nigeria ahead of time. But unfortunately, they often don't notify us. Apart from 2012, which all of us are aware, they released water in 2019. Nigeria wasn't informed. It was after much pressure calling on them that they owned up. Again, this one now, they didn't notify us before releasing water. It was much later that they said, oh, we opened our dam on the 13th.
It's not just the release of water from the Lagdo Dam that is the problem of flooding in the country. Climate change and global warming have seen flash floods, intense rainfall, and melting glaciers leading to ocean surges into seas, rivers, and cities.
Like for this year, is considered by WMO as tripartite deep La Nina. And this is the first time in history that we have cold sea surface temperature in the Southeast Pacific, which is considered to be La Nina, happening for 3 consecutive years, 2020, 2021, and present year. And this is associated with enhanced rainfall activities, which now triggers a lot of floods around the country. So I will mention that a lot of effort have been made to provide early warning system, and but the missing link we are seeing is compliance, especially by citizens, people living along the floodplain, and also violation of city plans. People build houses along major drainages and also in the deep valleys that is associated with floods.
Aside from climate change, human factors also contribute. Poor and absence of environmental regulation have led to floodplains being taken over by development and drainages clogged. This best describes the situation in the mainland area of Lagos, where poor city planning has blocked access for floodwaters to escape.
All is not well yet. We have to be watchful. We have to keep observing those environmental laws, and we also have to abide by the building codes and ensure that we don't block the drainages, we don't build on the waterways.
I will push aside this water.
Pastor Afiz Bolaoluwa, who lives in Ipaja, suffers this every rainy season as his home and church premises get submerged by flood.
The water is overflowing the bridge. Now, and the problem, the water you are seeing here is not the water in this community. The water is coming from Aboru, Agbado, Okoba, Iyanapaja, Gowan Estate, all the Gowan Estate, Abatio, Shagari Estate, all of the Ipaja, Ayobo, this is where the water is coming.
We don't have to wait until the flood will come and ransack our people from their homes. Now, if the flood comes and people pack out from their houses and you have a brother or a sister.
But the problem is that the link between Lagos State and Ogun State, that is that river to Ayetoro Bridge, they have not cleared that place. If they don't do that place, that water will also overflow every time.
It's just so pathetic. I don't even know where to start or even what to say. But this is the situation. All my rice is about to submerged.
Despite warnings issued far back in February by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency of above normal rainfall in strategic parts of the country, little preparations seem to have been in place. The National Emergency Management Agency now appears set to activate pragmatic emergency measures in all states at risk.
The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, is monitoring the situation and will consider the activation of Emergency Operations Centers, EOCs, to coordinate the flood disaster response in all the states at risk.
To address the challenge of flooding in Nigeria, experts say there's need to integrate the knowledge of weather in the provision of climate-smart infrastructure like roads and drainages that can withstand the vagaries of prevailing weather events as being practiced in Asia. Governors of frontline states have been advised to take proactive measures to protect their citizens and evacuate them to higher grounds to avoid impending disaster. Nkoli Omaudu, AIT News, Abuja.